system of leverage advantage plus a man's physical power, I believe it's possible to fly as a bird. It appears heavy, is light.
It's a plane, it's a cycle, it's super amphibious. At the controls of the craft they're calling the Helivector is the man who developed it, Louis C. McCarty. No hands. Who knows, commuters, this could be your 5:15 of tomorrow.
This cross between an aqualung and a motorbike is the latest idea for lunar travel. Straight up.
The biggest marvel of them all, or rather the smallest. You might think it goes by clockwork, but it can actually be ridden, like all the others. And Mr. Tabb claims to be the only person in the world able to ride the world's smallest machine. No one could ride it so gracefully anyway.
Anything you want me to play on?
We'll play turkey and straw.
All right, we'll play turkey and the straw.
Oh, no, don't play that.
Well, what do you want me to play?
Collegiate.
All right, we'll play collegiate.
Such equipment, combined with a few real tanks, gives the aggressor the appearance of a strong armored force at a fraction of the cost in men, material, and time. Light and compact, this equipment can be shipped around the country to where it's needed with a minimum of effort.
Gravity itself is our motive power and pulls us along. We can start on ice, We can start on mud or slime. The steering is also interesting. The steering is done this way, by twisting the whole track over to one side. And you will notice that while we are quite vertical, quite level, the sphere on the outside tips over as I turn, and we can therefore run round corners.
Hands up. Armed robberies wouldn't pose such a serious threat to store owners if they were wearing a chest and wristband device like this.
Are manipulated are the old lost laws of Greek cosmic motion, which I have rediscovered. And it is my strong conviction that by utilizing these inner universal forces, we shall all be able to fly like the birds. And I am now starting a school to train the children to develop these powers while they are young. Now, Alf, spread your wings. Now jump, head forward, lift your feet. Good.
Kitchen like none I've seen. Put a card in the slot and onto the screen pops a picture of just how your dish will look, plus all the ingredients you need to cook. No need for the bride to feel tragic. The rest is push-button magic. So whether you bake or broil or stew, the Frigidaire kitchen does it all for you. Don't have to be chained to the stove all day. Just set the timer and you're on your way. Kitchen of tomorrow is calling me. My cake is ready.
This is the world's biggest doll factory in London, so see what a complicated business it is producing the cuddly beauty that little girls love. Ouch, it really looks painful. Well, they say you've got to suffer if you want to be beautiful, and certainly this is a hair-raising job. It makes your eyes pop out, seeing the walkie-talkie doll's eyes pop in. So that's how they get the lips looking like a Cupid's bow. It's hard to imagine the love that'll be lavished on them when they've been assembled and packed and then opened with oohs and gasps. The anatomy of a doll is simple enough, but it's surprising how much handcraft goes into their assembly.
I do love you, Mummy. Please tell me a fairy story.
What a complicated business it is once an optician has tested your eyes and ordered the glasses that your tired peepers may need. That's what they call a blank, and they snap it into strips as you snap a bar of chocolate. You rough shape the glass that will be pressed and ground into precision lenses. Each lens must be a standard weight and size and geometric shape. Spectacle lenses are largely hand-shaped. grinding and polishing have to differ from spectacle to spectacle. Here's one basic industry where automation seems a long way off. Yet you can get the precise spectacles you need, tailor-made, in a matter of hours. This is, surprisingly, the one big industry that brings a bit of personal craftsmanship into almost every household in the country. The result of all this skill? A satisfied customer. Somebody who at last can see what's going on around her, apart from the fact that glasses today can be decorative or dignified, to say the least.
Special pigments have already been dissolved in the rubber, but now the toy gets an extra course of beauty treatment. The finishing touches are added by experienced girl artists using paint with a special non-toxic rubber base. The idea of this type of rubber toy was conceived so that it could have a personality that was changeable according to the child's mood, and just as important, would be practically unbreakable. But either way, it does give some indication of the trouble that toy manufacturers are prepared to take to bring happiness to the children of today.
Even in these machine-mad days, it's still the best for special work. This is the third color being printed on a three-color design. The design on this paper's printed with glue. This doesn't mean you can hang it up back to front. It's part of the preparation for flock printing, making that embossed velvety paper.
Meet the professor, folks. For 20 years, he's been watching the Killylouberg and has finally discovered what makes it fly. All it takes is a tank full of oxygen, a left-handed monkey wrench, and a couple of nuts. Here we go. History in the making. It's the happiest day of the professor's life. Let Popey's put salt on its tail. Going.
For this invention, this brainchild of the boffins has created a new disease, the slot machine fever. Incredibly, it wasn't until 1952 that the vending machine business really started to grow. Now it's a multi-million industry, with British brains rapidly catching the Americans and Germans. Round-the-clock service, automatic supermarkets, these are the realities which are emerging. It will all be so simple, in fact, as dialing a number.
Just like now. So one California genius disproved the simile useless as a fifth wheel. His fifth wheel aimed sideways, and with it you could sneak into the tightest hole. Better than power steering? Well, somehow it never caught on. Why not? We'll never know.
During the closing days of the war, our pilots over Germany were surprised by an occasional, extremely fast rocket fighter. After the Nazis threw in the towel, the Allies captured several of these rocket-driven planes intact and identified them as of the Me-163 series. These German films of their performance tests were found, leaving little doubt in the minds of our aeronautical engineers and designers just how far in advance the Germans were of our own research and development on this particular type of aircraft. German data on performance of this first rocket fighter ever to be used in combat proved the feasibility of using rocket propulsion in airplanes.
May we present an ARP pram. Mother has her gas mask, baby is protected too. A window so that he can see what's going on, and a gas mask container to filter the air as it goes in. An old motor horn bulb to expel the old air and suck in the new. Anyway, it amuses baby, and as most young mothers will agree, that's something.
Beam Jet Set hairdryer with the self-storing hose. It's so fast that it actually dries hair in an average of 22 minutes. Lady Sunbeam's 12-foot cord lets you move about freely. And in just 22 minutes, you'll have gone from this to this.
A new technique has to be acquired for turning on the roller skis, but for the straight runs, the real skiing rules apply. Finland has already ordered 500 pairs of the novel skis, giving an expert's approval to the gadget. Later, perhaps, all models will carry mechanical yodelers as hooters.